Hello, here is the next question. It says there's a uniformly charged hemispherical shell given over here. The 2 points P1 and P2 have been shown like this, and we need to find the directions of electric field at these two locations. There are four options given to us. We can choose the right option out of them. So let's decide first for P1. With little knowledge on symmetry, we can find the direction of electric field at P1. In fact, most of you must be knowing what the direction is along with its magnitude. So you can choose an element of ring maybe like this, and this will fall on its axis, so field will be in this direction dE, and if you sum them up, so total field will come in the vertically upward directions, or by symmetry we can say this must be in the direction vertically upwards. So P1 must be upwards. You will find everywhere P1 is upward. Now P2 is interesting. That means direction of field at location P2. How we can find it out? Let's see. Here we can think of, if we consider any small ring, let's start as we did for P1, and we try to find the field on this. So first of all, this P2 does not fall on the axis. Moreover, we don't know the field at this outside point on this axis. Well, so we can erase it. Then you can start thinking in the way like if we consider a small element over here and try to find the field, it will be in this direction because of that element. And if we consider another element, maybe symmetrically location from that corner or somewhere, so this will have a direction in this. And we will say since the second element is far apart, so this field will be small in magnitude and this will be large in magnitude, so you might get this is going to be dominating one for these two elements only. Then you need to see this symmetrically. This will have a large charge, this will have a small charge as compared to each other, so you'll find that this will have a more charge, so this should dominate. So here there are two factors, the distance as well as the amount of charge, and they are not supporting the same statement, they are going otherwise in two cases. So this will not let us decide which one of these two is going to lead in totality. Moreover, this is not only two-dimensional picture, this is a three-dimensional picture. So point is, direction of electric field at this P2 location is not so straightforward. Since it is not so straightforward, so we can try to find out using another way out. Let's say we consider the entire spherical shell. If it would have been complete and having the same charge density as it was downside hemisphere, so the definitely field at this P2 location will vanish, because we know inside a spherical shell the field remains zero at all points, so it must be zero at P2 as well. Now this is something extra construction that we have done, and of course of same charge density, right? Now at this P2 location, the field because of this above half and lower half must be zero. Let's consider a small element of solid angle, let's say d omega on the surface, whatever the surface we are going to catch over there. And if we extend these lines like this, we will have another surface over here, but they will have the same solid angle. Because of upside portion, the field is going to be in this direction. Let's call it as a dE dash. E dash is because of upside. This is because of downside charged hemispherical shell that we know that we need to find out as well. So that's going to be dE. Now this DE and this DE dash should be identical and compensating for each other, so that this, for a particular solid angle, the total field becomes 0. If it becomes 0 for total this is small, then if we integrate for all and add the two together, it will be 0 then after as well. Moreover, we can support this statement by saying in this way, that if they are not compensating for each other, they will have some resultant direction. And if we integrate over this half of this, so that half of integration symmetrically will not give us 0 for that resultant addition. Are you getting my point? Suppose this is giving a field in this direction as a resultant. These are not identical, let's say. So if we integrate for this half of the sphere, then you may get like this kind of components. So the resultant of these components will never be 0. But we want for the this integration for this entire, it must be 0. This will necessitate that DE must be equal to DE dash in magnitude and opposite in direction, so that they are getting compensated for each other. Now if you can catch this, then we can move forward and we can think of what the direction is going to be. Now this is our platform, and we are taking solid angle this way at some angle from there maybe. Now symmetrically we can take another solid angle in a very similar fashion, maybe like this. Some sort of, and extending the same thing in this direction. Some sort of this. What we are doing, we are trying to create a symmetry. Now this, let's say dash, I'm indicating upside as a dash, and this I'm indicating by simple letter. Now you'll find the field because of this portion is going to be in this direction, and its magnitude is going to be same as this. That means same as this DE dash. Why? Because the way this was having the field DE dash, exactly same manner this will have the field DE dash in this direction, because we have taken the symmetrically oriented another element, and this is also of the same solid angle. So this will become DE dash. Moreover, because of this element, you will find the field in this direction is going to be DE. Are you getting my point? Now we have already claimed that this DE dash and DE both are identical in magnitude. Now if you think, because of this downside portion which we had, and if we consider these two elements will have the field, one in this direction, another in this direction. So we can say at this P2 location, let's say that's a P2 location, there is a field DE and there is a field DE dash. But we are sure that DE dash is equal to DE. Can you think of? Now this is one pair of element that we have chosen. This entire stuff is made up of such kind of pairs. So whatever the field resultant they are going to create, again another pairs will create in the same direction. So you'll find, since these two vectors are identical in magnitude and oriented like this, so they must have a resultant direction in this. So that will be ultimately the direction of field at P2. So that will become our final direction. So that will be the field at P2. So we can say finally that at P2 the total field will be in this direction onward, you can remember that, and at P1 it is going to be again in the same direction. So our correct answer will become both parallel, that is C option. Fine. So this E net is final direction of field at point P2. Okay, thank you.